Hey guys, welcome back to Financial Professional. Today we'll talk about why Dan Bilzerian and Ignite are as broke as can be. Let's head into it. Number 1. Dan Bilzerian. The perfect success story? Dan Bilzerian seems at a glance to have it all. His Instagram paints a picture of a lifestyle that in a dictionary would be shown next to the definition of hedonism. Whether he's at the beach, flying in his private jet, or even lying in bed, he always has a bunch of bikini-clad beauties on hand. His wealth seems enormous, giving him the luxury of a life of continuous jet-setting and pleasure-seeking. If you ask me, he was effectively dubbed the king of Instagram, an accurate, though contemptible title. The story goes that he made his fortune playing poker at high stakes, and it's the story he sticks to regardless of who he talks to about the source of his wealth. But recently, this story has been scrutinized by real poker experts, who have criticisms ranging from the fact that Bilzerian is not just that good of a poker player, to the fact that there is not much money to be made in poker as he claims to have made. Number 2. His background. Those who have tried to trace the true source of his wealth have discovered that Dan's father, Paul Bilzerian, served prison time as a corporate raider for crimes connected with his activities. Although he was ordered to pay a civil judgment of $62 million for securities fraud, Paul Bilzerian paid only $3.7 million. This remains a mystery as to the whereabouts of the rest of his fortune, but it's not a far leap from the imagination to assume that he used offshore and domestic trusts to protect his family's remaining assets. In essence, Dan Bilzerian is a trustafarian, but he's not a very smart one given the results of his own business ventures. Number 3. His company Ignite. Bilzerian used Ignite, International Brands Limited Company, as something of a personal treasure trove, in addition to his trust fund. Last year, the company reported the loss of 67 million CAD, or roughly 50 million USD, which is no surprise given that the company money was used to fund the lavish lifestyle of Bilzerian, including expenses for the $200,000 monthly rent payment on his mansion he claimed to own, his flights, his yachts, and the models in each photograph hanging off his arm. Lawsuits are imminent. There seem to be a lot of personalities online gleefully covering the deception of Bilzerian. Perhaps it's because, as a person, they can't stand him. Perhaps that's to throw it in the faces of his followers. Number 4. Consequences. But I don't think it matters to those who worship Dan exactly where he got his money from. I don't think it would matter if tomorrow, in the courtroom, he was outed as a con. A negligible aspect of his appeal to the masses was the lies behind how his fortune was made. It doesn't matter as much about the source of his money as the illusion he sold. As long as the illusion is still strong, the truth does not matter. And if Dan is a master of anything, it's to build the illusion for men, maybe even women. Many commentators who have been involved in covering the probably imminent demise remark of Bilzerian that Bilzerian lives the life dreamed of by teenage boys, as if there were not also hordes of adult men who would jump to the opportunity to live this kind of life. It seems disingenuous to say that the system of values starts and ends in adolescence that catapulted Bilzerian to stardom. That just can't be the case. With Billy McFarland, who was infamous for throwing the failed Fire Festival, we saw the same folly. Similarly, while there was a music festival to be planned, he squandered his time and money on beautiful women and outrageous parties, and he was willing to confront people to continue bankrolling his way of life. Number 5. The problem in society. Because of whatever he purports to be, society does not worship people like Dan Bilzerian or Billy McFarland before he was outed as a fraudster. Society worships him because in people's lives there is a lack of fulfillment, and Dan is a master of dangling to the masses the empty promise of hedonism. In his book, Empire of Illusion, The End of Literacy and the Triumph of Spectacle, Chris Hedges writes, our fantasies of belonging, of fame, of success, and of fulfillment are projected onto celebrities. These fantasies are stroked by the legions of those who amplify the culture of illusion, who persuade us that the shadows are real. The juxtaposition of the impossible illusions inspired the celebrity culture in our insignificant individual achievements. However, eventually leads to frustration, anger, insecurity, and invalidation. It results, ironically, in a self-perpetuating cycle that drives the frustrated, alienated individual with even greater desperation and hunger away from reality, back toward the empty promises of those who seduce us, who tell us what we want to hear. We beg for more. We ingest these lies until our money runs out. His fans and their need for delusion are the mechanisms that gave Dan Bilzerian the notoriety and recognition he enjoyed so much. His wealth and his lifestyle were just vehicles to reach them. The system of values on which he was built up as a giant will remain even if he were to go to jail or lose his fortune, and somebody else will take his place. Instead of integrating his legal troubles into his image as a reckless playboy, an image that many people have grown to admire, he might not fall out of disfavor at all. Is Dan Bilzerian a liar? Very likely. But I think it shows a larger problem in our society that the lies ultimately will not matter. What do you think about Dan Bilzerian? Do you believe he's broke? Do you believe he's broke? Let us know in the comment section. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.